Presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus. Visit us today during Ram Truck Month. IP&E Fueling Excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Coming right up on prime time, the person behind the wheel from a fatal accident in Mighty is being sought by the Guam police. Plus tonight, a new game room in Tamuning that was the source of contention for several residents is being forced to shut down. And also, is the recent outbreak of hepatitis C behind bars considered an epidemic? The governor weighs in with her thoughts on the latest healthcare scare.
Hafaday and good evening. Police are searching for the driver who hit and killed a man walking in Mighty over the weekend, according to Guam Police Department spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao. The preliminary investigation suggests that a 50-year-old man was hit while walking on an eastbound Route 8 lane. It happened near KUAM store on Saturday at around 11 p.m. The victim was rushed to Naval Hospital Guam, where he was pronounced dead by emergency room physicians. Investigators have yet to obtain any leads about the suspect's car. Highway Patrol is investigating. Police are seeking your help. If you have any information about the incident, please call Guam Crime Stoppers. The number is 477-4357. Last year alone, there were a total of 14 auto pedestrian fatalities on Guam. This latest one along Route 8 in Mighty marks the second one for this year. During our recent Facebook Live morning show, Crime Time, the Guam Police Department announced its upcoming highway safety program, the Be Seen, Be Safe, and Be Smart campaign. The program is based on what's called the 4 E's: education, enforcement, engineering, and emergency medical services. GPD spokesperson Paul Tapao and Highway Patrol Operations Chief Lieutenant Mike Archangel.
It really is focusing about addressing the issues with pedestrian traffic, fatal pedestrians that have occurred on this island. How we can actually bring it down from a holistic approach from within the community.
We need to drive the fact home that, especially our pedestrians, they need to be safer. They need to make better choices. They need to make smarter choices so that they can be safe. We're going to be out there, we're going to be seen, we're going to be everywhere, and we're going to conduct as much enforcement as we can.
The Be Seen, Be Safe, Be Smart campaign is in partnership with various community organizations, as well as with the Department of Public Works Office of Highway Safety. To learn more about the upcoming campaign, you can watch the Crime Time show on our Facebook page. The show streams live on Wednesdays as part of our new Facebook Live Starting Lineup morning shows. A number of hepatitis C concerns at the local prison has many on edge, but is it an epidemic? According to the governor, it is, and more must be done to prevent hep C cases from increasing in the community. Carmen Terlahi has the details.
According to Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, there is an epidemic of hepatitis C in the prison.
I think it's more than just monitoring the incidence of cases. You know, there's the prevention part again, and there's the treatment part again. And I'm sure public health has been working very closely with DOC to, address that epidemic there.
But in an interview with DOC Director Samantha Brennan, not more could be disclosed as to the extent of the issue. Do you know how many have hepatitis C?
I have no comment.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't want to elaborate anything more and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just we put out the press release and that's the end of that.
Dr. Larry Lazama told KUAM there were over 100 cases of hep C at DOC, but Director Brennan published a statement saying it was, quote, not an epidemic.
I have no comment to that.
Public health officials explained the situation to the governor.
We do provide rapid hepatitis antibody test kits to the DOC RSAT program.
Yeah.
And last year, that's when we started it in June.
You're seeing more of hepatitis on island?
Well, I think we need to really understand the true numbers.
The health department unclear of how many cases total plague the island, though no word yet on how the prison plans to address the $6 to $8 million in costs that Dr. Lazama says is needed to treat inmates. For now, the governor says more must be done to prevent hepatitis C in the community.
Of course, hepatitis C is also as a result of using dirty needles with drug addiction. And so what can we do to maybe help mitigate that risk? Maybe we have to give free syringes out there. You know, they do that in other states, and that's just to contain the infectious part of the disease. Yeah.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Trelaki.
A man convicted of sexual abuse in Spain is picked up here in Guam. Court documents filed in the district court named Daria Gualtieri, whose extradition is underway. In June 2015, he shared a taxi ride with the victim. The pair had just left a club in Spain, and Gualtieri escorted the victim to her home. He attempted to kiss her, but she pulled away, telling him she did not want to have sex and that he should leave. That's when he forced himself on her. The victim screamed before Gualtieri took off. He is sentenced to 4 years in prison and is yet to serve his time. He was located in the village of Pidi. The government of Spain is in the process of submitting a formal request for extradition. Border security meetings are set to begin this week with elected officials. Nick Delgado sits down with the Republican minority leader who recently accepted the role to oversee specific issues with this committee.
Enhancing border protection in the territory. Senator Will Castro will be working with Border Safety Committee Chair Senator Jose Pito Cholahi to enhance technology, intelligence, and training with greater regional collaboration to thwart narcotics and human trafficking, as well as illegal trade, among other issues.
Our first bill that's going to come out, as a matter of fact, is aligned with this. It's the Homeland Security Emergency Response and Management Act, so Modernization Act of this year. And so we're hoping that the bill would have the ability to streamline certain operations and create certain efficiencies between Homeland Security and Civil Defense. But probably more important, at least to me, is it would establish the infrastructure for greater collaboration, regional collaboration, and the sharing of intelligence data between jurisdictions. It'll put them in at least I like to think, in a better posture to react to new threats and existing growing threats.
Threats, he says, include cybersecurity and monitoring the coastal areas.
But if you stepped back and you took it at a much grander level with the Sinai and Guam and the Republic of Palau, and we collaborated on sharing that information, you're going to see that I would bet anyone's dollar, or my dollar to anyone's donut, that there's a lot of illegal fishing going on in regional waters, and this is a tremendous opportunity to recover some of those costs, or better yet, to even deter that.
Castro says they will begin meeting on matters of border security as early as this week. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Nick Delgado.
Sees all operations. A Tamuning game room that caused public outcry is forced to close its doors for failing to get the proper license to operate. Tamuning Mayor Luis Rivera confirms that Revan Tax's compliance team looked into the issue. She tells KUAM that the owner of the business apparently applied to only run a coin-operated business and not a game room. So they have been ordered to shut down immediately. As we first reported, neighbors voiced their concern on Friday, arguing that the business would attract crime to their area. Residents add the game room opened up shop unannounced. But after about a week of being in business, SLE Lucky Charm Game Room was forced to close its doors. A lawsuit centered on counting portions of spoiled ballots from the primary election in 2018 is dismissed due to a technicality. Ken Leon Guerrero of the Political Action Committee Guam Citizens for Public Accountability was suing the Guam Election Commission. He alleged the GEC should have counted portions of spoiled ballots that were not spoiled, but the case had been dismissed. Leon Guerrero says a technicality. He failed to submit a response to the government's motion for dismissal. He says his next step is to work with the current legislature in hopes of eliminating the primary election process. A hiker hurt in a fall at Tarzan Falls on Sunday. The Guam Fire Department responded to a call of a distressed hiker yesterday afternoon. Rescue personnel arrived at the scene just after 1 p.m. GFD spokesperson Kevin Riley says the hiker suffered minor injuries from a fall. Units were able to safely locate and carry the man back to the trailhead. He was then taken to Naval Hospital via ambulance to be treated for his injuries. We are going to continue to experience rough seas in our area. Meteorologists are tracking a tropical disturbance developing southeast of Coast. The National Weather Service advises a trade wind swell will continue for the Marianas. A high risk of rip currents is in effect for Guam, Rota, Tinian, and Saipan through Friday night. Surf of 7 to 10 feet along east-facing reefs will maintain a high risk of rip currents all this week. Weather officials say rip currents will be life-threatening. The NWS advises that depending on the development of a tropical disturbance near Coast, the high risk of rip currents may spread to south-facing reefs also by the weekend. Some models bring the disturbance south of Guam Saturday. Others take it on a different track, either west of the Marianas or east of Guam Monday. The offices of Guam Homeland Security and Civil Defense are monitoring the situation. Stay tuned. We are back with more news after the break.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
A simple handshake. That's all Jake Calvo needed when he started his company. Today, 80 years later, we like to say thank you to all of you who have taken our hand in trust. Thank you to the dreamers. Thank you to the realists. Thank you to the family-oriented. Thank you to the entrepreneurial. Thank you to those climbing the corporate ladder. And to the ones starting a new life together. Thank you to the traditionalists and the edgy. To the young at heart and the old souls. Thank you to the daring, to the protective, to the practical. Thank you to the hopeful. To all of you from all of us, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
You can make each connection count with IT&E Prepaid. Talk, text, and share with the best price daily plans and rates. Stay in touch with loved ones, whether they're in Tumon, Garapan, San Jose, or even San Paulo, on the widest network in the Marianas. And reach out to friends and followers all over the world with the fastest, most reliable 4G LTE data. IT&E, explore your world.
The comfortable, the familiar. Neither one of these will ever give you a new perspective on things or make your heart skip a beat. Comfortable isn't something you'll tell your grandkids about. And familiar? Well, that'll be there when you get home. But until then, there's a world that needs exploring. Getting out of your comfort zone. It's possible in the family of Hyundai SUVs.
Welcome back. A new week and a new head of the Guam Visitors Bureau. Work for Pilar Laguatnia as the agency's new president and CEO began Friday after Nate DeKnight formally submitted his resignation to the board. The change in leadership also followed the Bureau's announcement that January 2019 is now the top month in Guam's tourism history. Nick Delgado has more.
This January, we followed up with another best arrivals month in the history of our tourism at 147,000. That number is about 10% above last year's pace.
Nate DeKnight left quite the impression before officially handing over the leadership role at the Guam Visitors Bureau.
And just a historic, it's going to be a historic arrival season for this winter. So very successful, thanks in a large part to the increased flights, especially from Japan. So we're seeing about 30% increase in our seats from Japan, and that's really helping bolster our numbers. The trends we're seeing in the arrivals, the work happens a year, at least a year in advance. So really last year we were really meeting with all the airlines in Japan to really increase the seat capacity. After Delta left, that really put us down as far as the number of seats. And without the seats, that's our inventory, then the numbers are going to go down. So we met with all our different airline partners, Japan Airlines, United, the T-Way, Jeju, and also the travel agents. We've been working with them to do charter flights because there's not enough seats, so they're working with airlines to do just charters for Guam. So I'll give you an example. This Golden Week in April for that holiday season, which is going to be a long 10-day period, last year we had 7 charter flights to Guam from Japan. This year we're going to have 47. So wow. Yeah, so just a tremendous increase.
Also a plus for the economy. Japan's spending, he says, is up by 25% increase and 125% increase from the Korean market. As the trend now shows progress, DeKnight reflects on his time with GVB.
It's been a tremendous opportunity to be here at the GVB. One of the best places to work on the island. We're like a family here, and so just appreciate all the opportunity that my board and all my teammates here at the Bureau have given, all the hard work and passion they have, and all the success we've had has been as a team and together, and I'm just happy to be a part of that. And yeah, I'll always be a promoter of tourism on Guam. It's our #1 industry. It really works for the entire island. And really something I try to bring to the Bureau is connecting our local community with the tourism industry. You know, and born and raised on Guam, growing up here, tourism was something that kind of lived in Tumon, and it was kind of almost separate, an outside industry that came in. But you could see all the changes and how dynamic the industry is really becoming integrated into the community. And I wanted to be a leader in that sense to really connect everyone on Guam with the industry, the benefits. You know, every time we did anything, we always thought about the local community first.
His message to his successor:
I just encourage them to continue to empower our team, continue to help us grow, and really engage the community in tourism.
What's next for you?
What's next for me? That's a great question. Actually, my wife and I are expecting our first child, so that's kind of what's next for us. Yeah, in June we'll be expecting our first baby, so that's a big step, and so happy to, you know, maybe spend some more time on island to focus on the next generation of Denite.
It's another major milestone for the University of Guam. Starting this fall, the school will offer a 4-year degree in civil engineering after nearly a decade of trying to get the program approved. Nestor Lecanto reports.
For UOG Civil Engineering Professor Sharam Khosropana, or Dr. K for short, it's a dream come true.
I'm so glad that finally, it took me 9 years to start. It becomes, now we have a real school and we have a top faculty.
Dr. K says it was part of the vision of former UOG President Dr. Robert Underwood, who wanted to expand the 2-year pre-engineering program into a 4-year Bachelor of Science degree in civil engineering.
We have so many talented students. You know, sometimes I can just see it from their eyes, you know. And I can just, you know, I do not agree that these students, the talented, let them go off island. And then many of them, they don't come back, you know. So the good about having a full school degree program here, we keep talented students here, help the family because it's not going to cost, and also they're going to be home.
That's exactly the plan of engineering student Nilo Espinoza, who says it will be a big help for aspiring engineers like him.
For example, at University of Iowa, because currently their cost of attendance is around $40,000 a year, which in comparison here to UOG, it's only about $5,000 a year.
Plus you get to stay home.
Yes, I get to stay home. I'm closer to my family. I have my support system here in the island.
Dr. K says local companies also support the program, which will save them money because they'll be able to recruit more engineers locally. The university also expects to attract interest from across the region.
Our design is for 600 students, but these students can be from many countries. So it's going to be benefit, it's going to generate money for university.
To accommodate the program, UOG will break ground this year on a new engineering facility. Dr. K says he expects the construction to be completed by next year. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Munga Masongi Guahan, Don't Burn Guam, taking proactive steps to secure public safety this fire season. The Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Soil Resources Division is temporarily staging 2 258-gallon water tanks on Turner Road to support wildland fire operations this dry season. Turner Road sits on the ridgeline that bisects the point where wildfires burn uphill from the old landfill in Orat toward Maso Reservoir and the community of Pidi. The tanks will be removed at the beginning of rainy season. The project is in partnership with the Mount Tenjo Neighborhood Association, Guam Fire Department, and the Asin and Pidi Mayor's offices. He was a local media legend and is given the Ancient Order of Chamurai Award, the administration awarding the highest civilian honor to the late John Anderson. The crowds gathered at Jeff's Pirates Cove in Ipan on Sunday to share stories and memories of John. His career spanned through the decades at local newspapers, TV, and radio stations, including here at KUAM. The University of Guam is honoring him by launching the John A. Anderson Journalism Scholarship Program. The tuition assistance program created by John's family as a tribute to the father of talk radio in Guam can be supported through the UOG Endowment Foundation. It will allow aspiring newspaper reporters, television broadcasters, and talk show hosts to be mentored and educated by the very best in the field. You can find out more on how you can give to the scholarship on KUAM.com. Stay tuned, sports is next.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Make every day a plus.
Oh my God, Becky, look at that crust!
At Pizza Hut, we're the ultimate cheesy crust, with 16 pockets overflowing with melted cheese.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get the show started tonight with some running news from Bank of Guam. Check it out. A press conference for the Bank of Guam 2K, 5K run and block party was recently held, announcing the lineup of local artists performing at this year's event. The race is scheduled for March 9th at the Chamorro Village in Agana. Funds raised will go towards the battle against cancer, benefiting Guam Cancer Care and American Cancer Society.
The reason why we've always included local artists is the bank is a huge supporter for young entrepreneurs. And what better way to showcase their talent than ending our 5K run with a block party. Again, as we have done it for the past 3 years, all the monies we make goes to the fight against cancer with supporting Guam Cancer Care and American Cancer Society.
The Guam Volleyball Federation has announced official tryouts for the men's and women's Guam National Beach Volleyball doubles teams to play at the Pacific Games in Apia, Samoa. Qualified players should contact GVBF for more information at guamvolleyballusa@gmail.com. For more info on eligibility requirements and tryout dates, times, and venue, visit GVBF's official website at guamvolleyball.org. The University of Guam men's soccer team defeated Islanders FC 5-0 in the GFA Amateur Men's League played at the Guam Football Association's National Training Center. UOG's Dylan Napati opened the scoring for the Tritons early in the match as they led 3-0 going into halftime. UOG opened the second half scoring at the 60-minute mark and finished off the scoring spree a few minutes later to take the match 5-0. UOG was led by Ichio Kawamata and Ryoga Okada with 2 goals each. The Tritons are now 7-1 on the season.